Okay. Yeah, good, everybody. Ooh. Okay, we're live. Um, recapping whatever um occurred yesterday. I have no idea. That was a game, to say the least. Um, the Vikings somehow won yesterday against the Bears, with no Justin Jefferson. And they squeaked out a win, 19-13. Now, the big takeaway, of course, from this game is our defense absolutely dominating this game. Danielle Hunter continuing to be a stud, had 2 sacks on the day. Metellus got a sack. Harrison Phillips got a sack. DJ Wanham got a sack. So in total, there was 5 sacks by the defense yesterday. And the defense also got a return for a touchdown after stripping Tyson Bagent, also known as Bagel Man, Baguette Man, whatever you want to say, um, by fumbling, getting stripped, and then Jordan Hicks, who had himself a really good day. He definitely, along with Danielle Hunter, were the big players on defense for the game. Jordan Hicks had a fumble recovery for a touchdown. He had a pass deflection. He had a lot of like 10 total tackles in the game. Amazing job by Jordan Hicks. Um, of course, the Bears offensive line isn't good, but for to see that the defense, seeing them actually put up a good fight, is good. I don't think oh god, um, Ed Donatel defense would have done this, even though even with this type of Bears offensive line. I just could not see that. Hello Nash. Hello Nash. How we doing? How we doing? How we doing? How we doing? Yeah. Well, looks like you're Bills fan, I'm assuming. So you guys survived. But the Vikings defense was the main star of yesterday, taking advantage of the Bears' bad offensive line. The only knock I will have against the Vikings defense was the inability to stop Dante Foreman. He had 15 carries for 65 yards. I know that's not like in a very, very impressive day, but that was the only thing that was really going right for the Bears. DJ Moore, of course, was their leading receiver for 5 catches, 51 yards. I guess for DJ Moore standards, that's okay to give up. Darnell Mooney had a couple catches, 48 yards. So in the past game, we did fairly okay for the most part. It was just mainly that running game because Justin Fields, when he was in the game before he got injured, ran for 46 yards. He was definitely a lot more mobile in the game. So only thing to really clean up is that run defense. Now next week we do have to play the 49ers. Now CMC might not be healthy. But it even then, they still got Elijah Mitchell, and so their run game, I feel whoever they have as running back, they usually will do the job. But 49ers have a lot of injuries, so that game could be a little bit closer than expected. But at the same time, our offense, which I'll get to, is not that good. It's not that good without Justin Jefferson. Now, what do I mean by this? Kirk Cousins yesterday went 21-31, 181, a touchdown, 0 interceptions. A very average, meh day for Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins didn't play great, but Didn't play good. No, right. He played okay. Um, but it's weird that the 2 wins that we have, Kirk Cousins, that's like those were his worst games. And the games that we lost, those are Kirk Cousins' best games, which I scratch my head so much about I've been scratching my head so much about that. But, it is what it is. Alexander Madison, ugh. See, here's the thing. Madison had a good couple games against 2 very bad defense, 2 not so great teams in the Chargers and oh god, was it the Panthers? I want to say Panthers and the Chargers and Panthers. So Alexander Madison, I mean, I eh, I want to see more Cam Akers. Alexander Madison's vision on the field. I don't know. This is the reason. Like, as I know, Dalvin Cook has not been what the Jets want him to be. Um, but of course he's not really getting that many touches anyway. Um, but at least Dalvin Cook had good vision on the field. Of course, he's still not worth the price bringing back, but that's why I liked in Dalvin Cook when he was still here, having the awareness. Alexander Madison, he might have some speed in him, but he still has his flaws. Um, and I think Cam Akers needs, and I say really needs to pick it up. I mean, needs to really pick up more snaps, not pick, because we can't have Alexander Madison be the full-time running back. We need Cam Akers to have a much bigger role in this offense if we still want to stay competitive. So I want Cam Akers to start, or at the very least take close to 50% of the snap. Every other drive, you can put Alexander Madison, Cam Akers, Alexander Madison, Cam Akers, but we need more Cam Akers. Cam Akers only had 1 carry yesterday, and that was for 8 yards. I know it's just 1 carry, but 8. Yeah, if you can average close, like a little bit close to 8 yards a carry, give him the rock. Give Cam Akers the rock. But I don't know if the Vikings will do that. Our leading receiver was T.J. Hawkinson. Not really too much of a surprise there. 6 catches, 50 yards. Addison had her only offensive touchdown of the day, with 3 catches, 28 yards, and a touchdown. KJ, 4 catches, 48. But the drops, man, the drops are still happening on this team, and it's so bad. It's so bad. TJ Hawkinson cannot catch for his life. The KJ's having some drop issues as well. Addison's really the only one that is doing fine for the fine in terms of being able to catch the ball. But yeah, I mean Kirk, and also before I say anything, Kirk Cousins did have a fumble, but that was more caught. Well, he had two fumble, a backwards pass that was on Kirk Cousins. He should not have thrown that, but luckily it was recovered out of bounds. The other one, though, that was lost wasn't on him because the line, again, Josh Oliver, TJ Hawkinson could not block and basically hit his hand going forward. It was a fumble, interception, whatever. It and it went into the defender's hands, and you can't have that. Offensive line is still a problem. But we got Dalton Reisner in, but that's only because Ezra Cleveland got hurt, and that sucks. I was really hoping that they would put in Dalton Reisner, not because of injury, but it is what it is. This team feels doomed. Especially next week against the Niners. Who knows? If we can get this if we can have another one-score game, I would love that, but I don't know if we're going to get to that point. We've been lucky enough that every single game has been a one-score game. We had a 3-point loss to the Buccaneers, a 6-point loss to the Eagles, a 4-point loss to the Chargers, an 8-point win against the Panthers, a 7-point loss against the Chiefs, and now a 6-point win against the Bears. So Davenport out for weeks again. Yes, Davenport, who has actually been a pretty good stud on the team. I was really like, is this Davenport? When he's going, he does good. He just has injury problems. When he's on the field, he's good, but when he's not, hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. So, I see another comment. Give me a moment. Depends if Debo and Seamus will be good to play and if Purdy has moments. Yes, if we can get pressure on Purdy, like the Browns did. I know the Vikings defense is nowhere near the Browns defense, but if we can get pressure on Purdy, we can make this a close game. If we had Jefferson, we could actually, make this maybe more of a game, but maybe we can make this a one-score game next week against the Niners. Who knows? But it'll have to be a very low-scoring game, probably. They need to trade. They need to trade away. I'm not ready to do that yet. See, I'm not ready to do that yet. We got 2 games until the trade deadline. The Niners and the Packers. For me, it's that Packer game that will be deciding what we do the rest of the season, because I think the team. Of course, we always expect to hopefully win every single week. But the Niners, in terms of the schedule, you look at the schedule, and the one game that's like, we're probably going to definitely lose is the Niners game. Like, we can win the Packer game, we can win the Falcon game, the Saint game, the Bronco game, the other Bear game, the Raiders game. We will be competitive with the I think we'll be competitive with the Lions. Still probably might lose one, but yeah. But there's a lot of winnable game. A lot of these are winnable games, except really the Niners, and maybe there's also the Bengals. I see the Bengals, depending on if they get their stuff together. But the Bengals, if they keep doing what they're doing, if they keep doing what they're doing, I think we can make that. We could maybe make that a close game. Bills should beat the Patriots. Keyword, should. That's always the key word. The Bills barely beat the Giants yesterday. If the Giants would have won, we could have been saying New Jersey owns New York, basically. Vikings winning out. Could they win out after the Niners? There's a very outside chance they could do that. I hope. I wish they could. It's not likely. Not likely. But I would love it. Lions are sweeping this team. I think the Lions we know the Lions own the Packers. I at least want to get one win on the Lions. I think we can get one win on the Lions. Whether that's the game at home or week 18, I think we can get a win. This team is too good. It's too talented. It's too talented to not get a win. It's too talented to not get a win. Again, to not at least rack up some more wins. We could get Jefferson by the Saint game. I think he will be very motivated to play the Saints because he is from the because he played at LSU. I think I think he could be back for the New Orleans game. So if we can be 3 and if we can be at 2-1 after in these next 3 games, I think there's a chance we can, we need to still stay motivated, basically. Agreed. One only piece I would sign off on trading is Hunter, only because I don't know what the contract situation is like, and you could get a nice haul. Could definitely get a nice haul for Danielle Hunter. Danielle Hunter right now is leading the league in sacks, and he is tied. Yeah, he's tied with T.J. Watt in terms of the most sacks, and I think Hunter, you know, if he continues playing this All-Pro level, let's say he continues to dominate these next couple weeks, and you decide to trade Danielle Hunter, and if you can somehow manage a first-round pick, that would be amazing. I still think Hunter is still one of the best defense bench edge rushers in the NFL. So Daniil could you can get some a high draft pick with Danielle Hunter, I would say our only great defensive player. You also have Harrison Smith, who's also pretty good, but Danielle Hunter, now that Brian Flores is in charge, he's been playing out of his mind. So yeah. I mean, the Vikings, yeah, they went did they go 2 of 13? I can check the team stats real quick for the last week's game. So last week, yeah, we went 2 of 13. You're right. And you think, what's up, Luke? We went 2 of 13 on third downs last week. Pathetic, for sure. The Vikings looked very, very lost without Jefferson. I think they still need to adjust to that. And how we're going to do it, I mean, that's all starts on, making sure, your receivers can hold on to the ball. As I said earlier, Hawkins, TJ, and KJ both need to, need to work on their catching, need to hold on to the ball. Jordan Addison's very reliable. He is the number one. He is our wide receiver one as of right now until Justin Jefferson gets back. You need to get Jordan Addison the ball more. And hopefully, if you can do that, more teams will be putting coverage on him so that can open up space for TJ and KJ. So that's going forward. So we know that next week is going to be a very tough game. It's going to be Monday Night Football. Everything is going, going to be against the Vikings. Do I think, as I said, with the 49ers injuries, do I think they will maybe make this a 1-score game? With the Niners injuries, there's a chance the Vikings could make this could potentially make this a 1-score game. If we lose, I'm gonna say if we lose to the Packers, that is the game. That is, for me, that is the season right there. Because the Niners, we know we're gonna take a loss more than likely. If we get a win, okay, we can afford another loss. But the Packer game, Sunday, October 29th in Green Bay, Lambeau Field, that for me, right before the trade deadline, that's the game right before the trade deadline. If we lose that game, this season is you could basically say the season's over. But if we win that game, we need to keep going. You can't give up on the season. You just cannot give up on the season. But that Green Bay game is what I have my eye on. just because I know we're going to be losing to the Niners. So um, that Green Bay game will, for me, how I look at it, will be the season defining game if we are still going to ride, if we're still going to have any hope of getting a wild card spot. Right now, we're only one game out of the wild card right now, and we're only one Packer loss away from being second place in the NFC North, which means nothing now. Which means, of course, nothing, because the Vikings technically, as of right now, would have the tiebreaker over the Packers if they were to lose. Because the Packers are 1-1 in division. We're 1-0 in the division. So maybe right before we play the Niners, if they lose to the Broncos, oh man, the Packers lose to the Broncos, that'd be hilarious. But if the Packers lose to the Broncos, we will be second place in the North because we don't play till Monday. So temporarily, we could be second place next week. So that could be exciting. But yeah. You don't see a win till the Broncos. Really? I don't know about that. I I can't see that. Like if we get Jefferson back um for the Saint game, we can definitely win. We can definitely win that one against a Pete Carmichael offense. The Falcon game, Falcons are very, very up and down. They are very up and down. Sometimes, and if you can get pressure on Desmond Ritter, you know, hey, you never know what it can be. When you never know what kind of Falcons you're gonna get. You just don't know. And the Packer game, we always split with the Packers. The Packers right now, I know Viking fan, I don't want, don't comment on Packers. The Packers are really going through a lot of growing pains right now. Losing to the Raiders, they should be 1-4 right now if it wasn't for a Pete Carmichael offense. Saints, but it is what it is. I think, yeah. Green Bay. I mean, Jordan Love. I mean, it would be a very low scoring game. I'm just saying that right now. It's going to be a very low scoring game between us and the Packers. I don't think it'll be very explosive at all. I could see a game like what we see right now, like 19-13 or low 20-17 type of game. Saying, okay, Cousins is following the normal trend of beating teams with losing records and losing teams with winning records. You're not, if we're regarding this season, that technically is the case. But, I think it's this team in general. This team, the team is not beating teams with winning records. We against the Chiefs, we got the lead at one point, but the offense couldn't put it together. And of course, turnovers. Turnovers really are the big thing why we couldn't win against these teams. Like, in all seriousness, do you think the Super Bowl window closed 3 years ago? I think the Super Bowl window was okay. Last year, the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl window, I thought, was still open. I thought it was open I honestly still thought it was open this year. I was thinking the Super Bowl window. This was the last year of the Super Bowl window because of Kirk Cousins' contract and all that. Um, because I mean, this team, when they went to the NFC Championship game 2017, Case Keenum, did big. I mean, it was a lot of roar, behind that. Great defense, but not the greatest offense. Cousins comes in. We don't make the playoffs. Following year, we did make the playoffs in 2019. Won against the Saints in surprising fashion. Or was that was, and then 2020 don't make the playoffs. 2021 we uh didn't make the playoffs either. That's when we fired, um and then we fired Zimmer. And then 2022 last year we made the playoffs 13-4. The defense was poor. If we would have had an Ed Donatel, I mean, not if we would not have would not have had Ed Donatel, instead had Brian Flores. At that point, we win against the Giants, and I think we make it competitive. Keyword competitive against the Niners the following week. But I still thought, with we could be. I thought this team was going to be record wise, almost as like record wise, maybe not as good, but I thought this team could be better just because with Brian Flores, but we don't exactly have the personnel, the players to run what Brian Flores wants. So I think Kirk had a great game, but honestly, I think a lot of what is happening should fall on Kevin O'Connell's play calling. His play calling, I hear saying, his play calling as of late, I want to see more passing, because last year I thought it was great. I thought it was great. We actually passed the ball a lot last year. This year, I feel like we're trying to force the run when we can't run, especially with the O-line, especially with Alexander Madison. I don't like that this year. Last year was a lot better, in regards to the offense. Offense was playing on all cylinders. And now this year, the offense just looks lost. It looks lost, and especially without Justin Jefferson, it just looks lost. The jitters from week one, and from the start of week one has really just carried on over with all the turnovers and whatnot. Cousins had 12 year. Yeah, I mean, he should make some own decisions. He did make one decision last year. Of course, that didn't work out. That was a quarterback sneak against the Bills. That didn't work out. Even though I do think it was the right call, it's just the Bills did their job last year. But that was really the only play that he really did on his own. But I know every player is different. Every player is different. You saw the Steelers against the Ravens. They didn't listen to Matt Canada, and they won the game. So, talking about the Steelers. Bob, hello. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. But that is an answer that, I mean, I don't know. The thing is, Kirk gets in his head a lot. And, yeah, it's, well, I mean, ugh, he just gets in his head too much. He really gets in his head too much. So I don't know if he would be able to call plays on his own. I would love him to be more of that, take on leader like Patrick Mahomes or whatnot. But yeah, Kirk Cousins, while he does, well, he is, I don't think, yeah, the run defense needs a lot of work, but defensive line probably needs a little bit more priority than offensive line at this point. Um, that's if the Vikings can use Dalton Reisner more. But if Ezra Cleveland's out, Dalton Reisner, and maybe we'll see some big change in the offensive line. Even though Ed Ingram is really the actual problem, not Ezra Cleveland, not really as much Ezra Cleveland. Even though Ezra Cleveland, yeah. Um, but no, Kirk Cousins probably out after this season. And I think we might be trading up for a quarterback, maybe like a Drake May. But I can't see Caleb Williams trading up for Caleb Williams. But Drake May is looking more likely to trade up to. But we'll see what happens. Yeah. Yeah, so Vikings win 19-13. Next, we got the 49ers. I'm going to do some. I think I'm going to do Madden tomorrow. Of course, don't forget. Yeah, predictions. Prediction videos have been. I just want to say a big thank you to everyone. The predictions videos have been popping up every single week. There will be one, of course, after Monday Night Football. But yeah, thank you so much for all the for watching the prediction videos. And then we'll probably do some Madden tomorrow. And I'm hoping to maybe get a preview. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah. Yeah. Thank each one of you for coming out here. This has been Adam, also known as Minnesota Vikings Fan 28. And as always, Skull.